to watch it afterwards now, but if you give me the YouTube word like ahead of time, I'll put it out on my Twitter. I'll send it out on a community message. And I'm going to we'll come watch. Like they should be so happy, and we all said, well, if we get 8-9 wins, we'll be thrilled, and they're all crying like babies because we lost the win. That we did, but 5-3 is still ridiculous and amazing. Dancing in the streets. You would have told me 5 wins by the time I would have been doing jumping jacks.
All right, what is up, Bills Mafia? We're 100 days to go until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57. And this channel is going to document every single day leading up to that amazing moment with a video or a live stream. Can you guys believe it? 100 days till we get to celebrate a Super Bowl victory. What's up, Big J? Big J, you're the first one to jump on the stream. Hope to get a few more because tonight's a special night to celebrate the 100 days until we win the Super Bowl. Who else am I going to have on but a Jets fan? As you can see, Mr. Jeremy Krevats, what's up, brother?
What's going on? Good to be here. 100 more days.
100 more days until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57. Do you believe that at all, Jeff? I mean, Jeremy? Sorry.
It couldn't happen to a better fan base, Ben. Bills Mafia, you guys do some great things in the world. I'm sorry, I hear things about what your fan base does to help people and band together, and I gotta say, I admire that about your fan base.
Oh, very nice, very nice. That's a nice way to start the stream. I appreciate that. You might have to turn your audio up a little bit. I don't know if you can, or
I'll talk louder into my mic.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds
All
up.
right.
Sounds a little bit better. Yeah, so we are going to talk about the Jets and Bills game coming up here. But first, before we get to all that, the nitty gritty, let's get to know you, sir. Where are you from? What do you do over there? Tell us about Jets Chaos.
All right. Well, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Then I started going back and forth to California as an adult, and now I live in Sacramento. But growing up in Brooklyn, 15 minutes from Shea Stadium when I was a kid, that's where the Jets played. And I think we talked about this before. I started as a Jet fan, similar to the time zone of when got into the Bills, and that was when you beat us in a wild card game. And Richard Todd threw an interception at the end of a wild card game in like '81, I think it was,
Okay.
or '82, and then that was the sack exchange for New York. So we went on and we lost to Miami in an AFC Championship game, and so my life as a Jet fan started with heartbreak, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been heartbreak ever since. But we've had some good runs. We've had some moments, where we it's been exciting. We just have never been able to get over the hump.
Sure.
But yeah, yeah. So and then I started this channel about a year ago, Jets Chaos, and so I just love talking about the Jets. And I was watching a lot of other YouTube content providers for the Jets and got friendly with them. And I said, why can't I do that? I want to talk about the Jets on my own. And
Uh-huh.
one thing led to another, and here I am about a year later, and the channel's going well.
Now you said that's been a long, you're still trying to get over the hump, but I almost introduced you guys as, and I should have, the Super Bowl champion New York Jets. You guys won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess that was about 10, 11 months before I was born.
11 months. Okay.
A
You
little
guys
over
won a
50
Super
years
Bowl,
ago.
though.
Do you
So,
guys not have a Super Bowl?
no.
I didn't even realize
No, unless a lot of people here in Buffalo say that 4 Super Bowl losses is equal to 1 Super Bowl win. That's what a
that.
lot of
Well,
Bills fans will say to try to make themselves feel better.
you know what? I would trade the one Jet Super Bowl that I wasn't alive for 4 Super Bowl appearances in a row.
Golly.
I
I
would.
mean,
I would.
that was just insane. Just to go over and over and over again and keep losing was, I can't even explain how demoralizing that was for us Bills fans old enough to remember those years. We had was probably the best, I definitely the best team in that first Super Bowl when they lost to the Giants.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
But the Giants had everything go there. It was just one of those games, which, we'll talk about in a minute here. It's the type of game the Jets have to have on Sunday, which, I'll get your take on that and give you my take. But that's the type of game that the Giants played against the Bills that particular Super Bowl Sunday. Everything went right. Their game plan was perfect. The Bills just made enough mistakes. They got the breaks. And of course, they won by a point. So, yeah. All right. Well, Jets, Bills coming up. Let's get into it. I, of course, am like most people and expect to win, but I don't think I'm necessarily expecting the Bills to win by a bundle like a lot of people are. Like Vegas has, I guess the Bills is a 12.5 point favorite on the road, which is huge. That's more like a 15-point favorite when you're playing on the road and you get those 3 points as a home team.
yep.
I saw your kind of take a video. I think it was yesterday or the day before. The things that you said the Jets have to have happen to be able to pull this one out. Why don't you get into that?
Yeah, yeah. And I wasn't even like not from so much a performance standpoint, like the obvious things of like, oh, get more turnovers, or or particularly that, but more of a strategic standpoint. Like the Jets have, and people will recognize now, right? And they see that there's a lot of talent, a lot of young talent. What the Jets don't seem to be able to do is they don't seem to be able to utilize all that talent in a single game. So
Okay.
it's like sometimes this guy will shine, and sometimes this guy will shine. So I think to play the Bills, everybody has to help. Like it can't. You're not going to offensively. We're not going to be able to get anywhere with your defense, like, and be effective going to one guy. And we're certainly not. So that was the key thing is utilizing all talent. That was one of my things, where we really got to get. We have to scrape and scratch and claw and get contribution from everyone on our team. All of our special guys like a Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore, and we have to get him back into the action. And we have to get like our tight ends. We got Conklin now, who's had flashes of being really, really good and coming out of the slot for us. And Michael Carter, our running back, but we also have our James Robinson we picked up. because of the Brees Hall injury. But we need everybody to contribute and get the ball around and be hard to predict. Not this is their go-to guy or this is their go-to guy, but just be very diverse and spread out.
Okay. There's got to be those guys, though, that rise above all of the contributors. Let's start with the offense. Who on offense has to have like the game of his career?
Well, normally, unfortunately, and I'm really bummed, not because I'm saying we would have won or we beat you if we had them, but I really wanted to see where the Jets were, and I wish we could have at full strength, with Brees Hall, because I really think that Brees Hall is like a franchise altering type of player, like he's that good, and I wanted to gauge where the Jets were in the rebuild process with Brees Hall because I think he's such a critical part of the future and the team. So with him gone and AVT, our best offensive lineman, gone, to me, what replaces that is it's Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has to bounce back from one of his worst professional games last week, and he doesn't have to be a star because very rarely are quarterbacks going to look like stars against the Bills defense. But he has to be a smart game manager, not turn the ball over and make the right decisions. But Zach Wilson's going to have to step up and completely turn around what he did last week and be the opposite and just be a guy who makes all the right decisions on every play.
I saw a stat line like 355, 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Was it really that bad?
It was that bad. That's very deceptive. You have to look at when he got these yards, how he got those yards. He was very inconsistent with his passes. It wasn't, just had time. The guy's open 8 yards away from him. And he throws it into the ground. He was just so spotty. A beautiful pass and then just a pass that made you just scratch your head.
Mm-hmm.
So actually the stat line, it's usually the opposite. It's usually you look at the stat line and think Zach Wilson stinks. What are they happy about? And it's not true. If you actually watch the game, you're like, oh, he did everything right based on the protection and based on the game plan. But this is the opposite scenario. This is where, aside from the 3 interceptions, you'd look at the stat line and think, well, why are they saying he was so bad? If you watch the game, you'd see why he was so bad. Those 3 turnovers were critical. And the inconsistency of his passes, just killing drives. It was one of his worst games, certainly his worst game of this season for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the defense. I think I know who you're going to say has got to have that top-notch game. Go ahead. Who is it?
Well, obviously our star has been Quinnen Williams this year. He's been absolutely insane and out of control.
All right.
But, I think that given your wide receivers, I think Reed and Sauce Gardner, it's hard to pick one of them, but I think those two have to do what they've been able to do this whole year. Mm-hmm. And they have to be shut down and they have to be amazing because your wide receivers, I know people say the Miami guys, but I'm just as scared as your guys on the outside. So obviously they're going to have amazing games. It's hard to say one guy, but I guess I expect that from them. I guess if you just say, Jeremy, pick one, it's Quinnen. Quinnen Williams has to have one of his magical games where he's just creating disruption, just constantly throughout the game. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say Sauce Gardner, but yeah, they, the previews that I've watched, they're expecting him and Reed to be the difference makers if the Jets are going to, stay in this one. The Brees Hall loss is gigantic. I had him on both of my fantasy teams, and that it's just I
had him on both 2 teams. It killed me, and I had Javonte Williams. Killed me too.
I accidentally put Brees Hall on the bench for his 200 yards from scrimmage game, and I thought he was in. I don't know what happened, but that was a gigantic loss. He's going to be, I think, one of the Jets players that 10 years from now people will talk about as being one of the greatest Jets of all time, right up there with Curtis Martin.
Can you imagine if the Bills would have taken him?
Well, I had actually predicted the Bills would take him. Not that I necessarily thought that would have been a good pick to take, but not looking back now, obviously it would have been a good pick. I did think that the Bills were going to take him because they were looking in the direction of running back. They tried to trade for, or they tried to sign J.D. McKissick,
Mm.
and they also, of course, drafted James Cook. There was rumors that they were going to try to go after Christian McCaffrey. So I was like, Bruce Hall just seems like if he was when he was available at that spot, and I thought for sure that was just going to be a no brainer. But they didn't. They went for Kyer Elam, and Kyer has played well.
Yeah, he's a
So
good player.
yeah, all right. So other keys to the game, even if they're run of the mill, what do you think? Like just what is the whole breakdown of a game of what has to happen? Like in your mind, envision it.
I'm going to be really honest about this because, the reality is you guys are better, and there's reasons why. Um, you're like 2 to 3 years ahead and started in the starting of your rebuild and building this team. So the majority of your team knows your system much, much better than our young kids. We have rookies and sophomores, right? Learning the system. And your guys, the Bills are there. You guys are in that. It's your time. And we're hoping to get there. We're in this
Mm,
rebuilding. We're hoping, we were hoping 8 to 9 wins this year, playoffs next year, and then beyond was going to be our time, right? Maybe you're still around and we're battling you, but that was going to be our time. So the reality is to be as honest as I can, is we just need you guys to have a crappy game
yeah,
first and
yeah,
foremost. If the
yeah,
Bills play their best game, we can't beat you.
yeah. Yep.
It's just that simple. It's because we're not better. So if the Bills play, and if they have a 9 out of 10 game, we lost. But I hang on to, as a football fan, I follow everything, and I'm like, well, what if you guys put up a stinker like you did against Jacksonville last
Hmm.
year?
Yep.
It happens,
Yeah.
right? We see it happen.
Yep.
So that's the first thing that has to happen, is that you guys have to be off your game and open up an opportunity for us.
Yep. And that's what I see that's what I can see happening, because I mean, just look at the Eagles and the Texans last night. The Texans had them 14-14, and then the better Eagles team finally came around. But you throw in an untimely turnover there, or a bad call from a referee or something, and maybe that game is going down to the wire. So I think it's going to be obviously turnovers, and the Bills have been turning the ball over a lot this season. I mean, 4 against the Rams. They had two against the. I think just last week they had two interceptions with Josh Allen. Every week they've turned the ball over. So, and their defense is definitely one of the better defenses they're going to play against this season. They, I think, are fairly highly rated overall statistically. You could probably tell me better on that point, but I think they can make the
It's
plays.
been a weird, strange turnaround, but yeah, and I think the turnaround is just built around, the Jets. Like if you think about the San Francisco 49ers, the scheme itself is predicated on pressure. The defensive line is the heart of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't hurt. Obviously, they added Reed and Gardner, so they completely revamped the cornerbacks. But the reality is that wouldn't even help them because they play a zone if they didn't have the pressure. Because if the Jets don't get pressure on the quarterback, you got like you'll eat us alive on the inside, like
Mm-hmm.
on just a short game. You'll just take it 8 yards and walk down the field. So we have to be disruptive and
Mm-hmm.
cause pressure. Um, but that's pretty much the difference between now and last year, is just that the defense is working now because the defensive line is getting to the quarterback. We're creating pressure and we're sealing the edge. Like last year, they weren't sealing the edge. So there was a problem anytime a quarterback would scramble to the outside, or a running back would run out to the outside. It was just wide open. And we've been resolving that issue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just improvements on the defensive line that have really flipped the defense. But obviously, you can't ignore Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, either.
Yeah. Well, how many points do you think the Jets have to score to win this game?
Oh man, I don't know if they could do it, but I think with Josh Allen and your offense, but our defense being really, maybe being able to neutralize your big weapons, or at least contain them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to. I can't see us winning if we don't somehow find a way to put up 20 plus, like 20 to 24 points,
Mm-hmm.
and then our defense just playing like the having it like maybe as good a game as they have had all year.
Yeah.
Like just the best game they've had all year. And we managed to put up 20 to 24 points, maybe special teams, like you were saying, turnover, helping them out. I don't think it's going to be the Jets offense putting up 3 touchdowns and a field goal
Mhm.
without help from their defense or the special teams.
Yeah. I can remember a game, the Bills on Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys came in favored by about the same, I think, 12. And Buffalo just scored on defense. They intercepted Tony Romo, I think, 4 times. I think they had a punt return for a touchdown. I think they had one offensive touchdown and like 2 touchdowns on defense and special teams. And then they set up a field goal or something. Anyway, the Cowboys won that game. The last second field goal, crazy ending, one of those just demoralizing finishes. With the Bills were up by 11 with like a minute and a half to go, and ended up losing it. But that's kind of what I see. Yeah, that's kind of what I see. As the most likely scenario if the Jets win, just like what you're saying. Now, there's a number of things that kind of are in the Jets' favor. Number one, it's at home. Number two, it is like their biggest game of the season so far. It's not a must win. I think they definitely can make the playoffs even if they lose this game. I mean, they're going to have to play some good football down the stretch. I've seen the Bills, unfortunately, 5-2 and many times, and end up the season back when they had 16 games like 7-9 and 8-8. That tends to be the trend, I think, for a team like the Jets this year. But with that said, it's kind of there for them to pull the upset more than people think because of those factors. It's a really big game. They got a really good defense. They're playing at home. The Bills turn the ball over, and like you said, if the Bills play just a below average game, I think that's enough for the Jets to be in this one to the end.
We'll see. It's hard to imagine. Well, I mean, it's hard to imagine the Bills not being up for a division game, but
Right.
but people have off games regardless, right? I mean, people they wake up and all have bad days.
Yeah. Well, Jordan
Like
Poyer's
people
out.
forget they're Houston. People forget. I'm sorry. People forget they're human. Like
Right.
everybody gets up and has a bad game. It's just a bad day. It's possible Josh Allen could wake up and he just doesn't have as good a day as he usually has
Right.
because it's like any other job or any other thing in the world.
Right. Right. Well, the Bills are 17-point dogs on the road at Minnesota, Josh Allen's rookie season. And the Bills just happened to sack Kirk Cousins twice, like down in his own end. He fumbled both times. The Bills got the ball twice, and they scored 2 quick touchdowns, and that was kind of it. So that's kind of what could possibly happen. And there's another point I was going to. Oh, yeah. So we're out without Poyer. Looks like he's out. Von Miller's been dealing with an ankle injury. I guess he's still questionable. So
that's big given our offensive line issues.
They have injuries, and I mean they're pretty healthy on offense right now, and they brought in that Naheem Hines. I don't know how much he's going to factor into this game. And did the Jets get anybody in trade?
No, it's kind of funny. We actually ended up being sellers in a way, but we were way overpopulated on our defensive line. Like they because they didn't know who was going to come back healthy, who wasn't, so they overdid it. We had so many guys. So Jacob Martin, who we picked up from Houston, the Texans, who's a pretty good player. Like he's a good guy to have. He's not a big sack guy, but he's a high pressure guy, good edge sealer. We really weren't utilizing him. We were just too crowded. So we got rid of him for like a 4th-round pick. I think I'm forgetting now to the team. I think the Saints, like a 4th-round pick in 24. Joe Douglas, our GM, loves to accumulate draft capital.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you said, your guys are like kind of where the Bills were maybe 2-3 years ago. So that's what, Buffalo did. They traded away some players and made some moves and got some draft picks. And of course they drafted pretty well. Yeah. Big J says that this game would have been a lot different had they still had Breece Hall. And that is just like and that could happen in Buffalo easily. They lose Stephon Diggs or Gabe Davis, then we're kind of like dealing with the same kind of thing.
It's the crappy thing about football. I think that most fans would agree. If we all could, we'd all love it to be no injuries, and we would all love our teams to just play at full strength.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't think of a fan saying, "No, I like it the way it is because our team stays healthy." And sometimes, like no, it's not. Oh, I wish Brees Hall would play because I think we'd beat the Bills if we had Brees Hall. It's more like we watch to watch stars play,
Right.
and I miss watching Brees Hall play. And like I said earlier, I just wanted to gauge where we were, like at our full strength. Like
Yeah.
this is how much of a gap is there from where the Jets have to go to get to where the Bills are. And I feel like it's hard to get a measure of that gap when there's injuries like this because you don't, it's like it just kind of throws it off a little bit.
So you're missing some receivers too. I mean, obviously Elijah Moore. What is he just checked out?
No, he's playing.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's in the doghouse for sure. He
All
only
right.
got like 5 reps last week, but he's healthy. He's practicing. He's on the team. We don't know when he's going to come out of the doghouse. Like he might play full reps coming into next week. Corey Davis is out, and that hurts because Corey Davis is absolutely Zach Wilson's favorite target,
All right.
and he's our most productive player. Like meaning blocking and just doing all the intangibles of a wide receiver. He is the veteran. He is the guy that sometimes does things that you don't see in a box score. But one thing that it will be interesting to see, you guys should keep your eyes out, is Mims, because Mims actually had a very good game last week. It was 2 receptions, but it was like 76 yards. And it was very like the guy that was a rookie for us. Like he looked like the Mims that we all were like, what happened to him? So it's going to be interesting to see Mims and what he does. So
Right.
Denzel Mims, the guy's 6'3" and runs a 4.3. So if he knows the plays and he just gets on the same page as the team, it's a big mystery. Like, how could you not be able to utilize a talent like that?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. But he looked good last week, and they have hinted that they're going to feature him more this week in Corey Davis's plays.
Gotcha. Yeah, and on the when it comes to the Bills and what they have, I mean they have everything they need. Obviously, they have pretty much showed up on offense for the most part. The one thing that we were concerned about after playing the Packers is our run defense. Even
Mm.
with Brees Hall out, you guys got that one dude in a trade. What's his name?
James Robinson.
Yeah. So, he's going to probably be the key to the Jets staying on the field, his running, the run blocking, because the Packers gashed us. It was actually sort of surprising.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that's going to be a key, I think, is how Buffalo stops or doesn't stop the Jets' run game.
And we go. You don't know who it's going to be because James Robinson's still learning the playbook, and we're probably going to use him more. But with the Jets, with Michael Carter and James Robinson, it's going to be the hot hands. So sometimes we as Jet fans don't know until
Okay.
they do a couple of drives, they hand the ball. Whoever gets hot is who they'll make the prime back for the game.
Gotcha. All right, why don't you give me a prediction?
I'm less optimistic.
Predict.
For
Give
Jets
me
than,
an upset prediction. Don't. I'm not going to put you on the spot to just.
no. I honestly, if you held a gun to my head, I honestly would think it's going to be the type of game where the Bills win 23-10.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's what I think is the most likely thing
Yeah.
to happen. I think the Jets defense will continue to. I think they're for real.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be. But what's going to wear them down and even get you guys to 30? Maybe if it's 30-10, it'll be because our offense, if we don't hold the ball long enough, and Josh, we don't have, we don't eat up the clock at all. Our defense will wear down and break, especially to to Josh Allen. So,
Yeah.
but I think if we manage just like I think if they hold up though, I think 23-10 would be a fair thing. If the Jets somehow, you tell me the Jets win the game, what score did they win by? In that scenario, I would say the Jets won 20-17.
Uh-huh. Field goal late or Buffalo misses field goal late. Yeah.
Yeah. But
All
if you
right.
held a gun to my head, like, come on, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I believe the Jets are going to win this game. I just can't do it.
All right. So I kind of see the same thing. I see the Jets covering, and I actually picked the Jets. I think I told you when I was on with you preseason that I picked the Jets to win this game preseason.
It's incredible.
So we'll see what happens. I hope I'm wrong, and if I'm right, I'm probably gonna lose all my subscribers. All right, I've got one last thing for you. I want to do something fun here before I let you go. And before you go, I wanted to find out. You said you drove 100 miles from
I
where?
wasn't like 100. It was more like 60. I was in. I live in Sacramento. We were in Napa. We have a friend, and we took him to some wineries in Napa, and I guess I forgot it was Friday. So when you head west or when you head east on the 80
Mm-hmm.
on Friday, it's a bad idea because everyone in San Francisco and the Bay Area is heading to Tahoe.
Okay.
So Fridays the 80 gets crazy. So it actually I got out of the traffic and my ways actually took me through mountains.
Oh.
So it was like 60, 70 miles of driving through mountains
Oh
to
no.
get back into Sacramento. So I ended up making it home at what would have been on time, but I was just unsure. So I was like, I got to call and let him know that I might be late. So
I didn't even know you were on the West Coast. Either I forgot last time we talked, or I never found out. So you said you were from Brooklyn, and you headed out west. How did that happen?
originally it was for work in the 90s. And then I went back and forth a couple of times. And then my wife and I were living in New York City and we came to visit some friends in Sacramento. And we had an amazing time in February swimming in their pool in February, and
Yeah.
we were like, man, we love it here,
All
and we
right.
just made a decision, and we came out and moved to Sacramento in 2016.
Oh, that's cool. All right. Are there Jets bars out there? How do you get your Jets fix out in on that area?
There is one in San Francisco, but which is like on a Sunday, I can get there in an hour and 10 minutes
Oh,
on a Sunday
okay.
morning, and I could park and I'd be fine and
Uh-huh.
spend. But the truth is, I do a Jets watch party with another Jets YouTube content performer. His name
Okay.
is Green Bean, so I have to be here anyway. I watch with
Gotcha.
him and about a couple hundred people in our chat watching with
Okay.
us.
Oh,
So
okay.
I call the games now, and I have Direct TV, so I get every game.
Oh, that's cool. I wish I'd be great if I could link into that somehow when I do my watch party. All right. The last thing I want to do is I have a little trivia lined up for you. 20 questions
Oh God.
on the Jets.
Oh man.
If you get 15 out of 20 right, the Jets
Yeah.
will win on Sunday.
Okay. No pressure.
Let me pull this up on the screen. I guess you
I'm the
can't. I
worst.
guess you
I'm the
can't.
worst at trivia, by the way, because I'm senile. But
You
okay.
can't see it, but all right. Here we go. This will really test your Jets knowledge. Let me pull up the first question again. 15 out of 20, and the Jets will win on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. Number one, what were the New York Jets originally called? Bulldogs, Flyers, Pros, or Titans?
Titans.
He says Titans. Is he right?
Yes, I'm right.
He is right. The team was founded in 1959 as the Titans of New York. All right, number two. What QB led the Jets to victory in Super Bowl III? Al Woodall, Boomer Esiason, Johnny Unitas, Joe Namath.
Broadway Joe.
Broadway Joe. He's got it right. He's got two. Oh, no. Good start. Number three. What nickname did Mark Gastineau, Joe Klecko, Marty Lyons, and Abdul Salam earn for the New York Jets defensive line? Fearsome Foursome, Gang Green, Big Green Wrecking Crew, or the New York
choices. I don't need the choices. The New York Stock
New York
Exchange.
Stock Exchange. I knew you do that. All right. You got what is that? You got three right already? Oh no, I might have to make it 17. All right, number four. How many fair catches did Jets punter returner Bake Turner call on November 20, 1966 in a game against the Miami Dolphins? What a crazy question that
I
is.
don't know.
7, 5, 6, or 4?
6.
Fair catches punter Bake Turner. You say how much? 6?
6.
Oh no! The answer is. Oh, I have to keep clicking them. It was 7. Holy cow! 7 fair catches.
No. Who would know?
All right, you got
Who would
3
know that?
right. All right, number 5. Which Jets wide receiver was the first NFL player to reach 10,000 receiving yards? Is it Al Toon, Don Maynard, Eddie Bell, or Wesley Walker?
Don Maynard.
He says Don Maynard. Did he get 4 right? He got it right. You got 4 out of 5. You are doing really well. All right. And it says, although that Maynard never led the league in receiving any one season, at the time of his retirement, the 4-time AFL All-Star had 633 catches for 11,834 yards. Who cares? Okay, which Jets defensive end got 107.5 quarterback sacks in his first 100 starts? John Abraham, Mark Gastineau, Joe Klecko, or Marty Lyons?
Well, it's down to 2 automatically, but I'll have to say Gastineau.
He's going to say Gastineau. Is that right? Yes. What the heck? 5 out of 6. We go on to number 7. Which Jets linebacker is best known for his hit that benched Drew Bledsoe and started Tom Brady's career? Is it Calvin Pace, Jonathan Vilma, Mo Lewis, or Marvin Jones?
Great Mo Lewis.
He says Mo Lewis. Is Mo Lewis correct? Yes. Holy cow.
Jet fans hate him for it.
What's that?
Jet fans there are Jet fans that hate him for it.
Really?
Yeah, for doing his job and they cheered when it happened, but when Brady turned out to be a star, did they turn on Mo?
Oh, okay. Isn't it? I never thought of it that way. Wow. Yeah. All right, number 8. You got 6 out of 7. Number 8. Which Jets QB holds the record for most fumbles in a single game? Is it Mark Sanchez, Chad Pennington, Geno Smith, or Browning Nagel?
It's got to be Sanchez.
Maybe it's that butt fumble game, right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Is that right? No.
No, is it Nagel?
It is not Nagel.
Geno?
Chad Pennington.
My last guess. Oh, I never would have guessed Pennington.
All right. So you got 6 out of 8. You got to remember how many you get right, so I don't. Who is the New York Jets' all-time leading scorer? Is it Curtis Martin, Nick Folk, Emerson Boozer, or Pat Leahy?
Oh, I'm going to say Leahy.
Yeah, with 2 kickers. You got it right.
Yeah.
Awesome. He played 18 seasons with the Jets. Holy cow. He recorded 1,470 points. Jets punter Steve O'Neill owns the NFL record for the longest punt in football history. How long was it? 98 yards, 89 yards, 75 yards, 84 yards.
98.
Has to be right. That's what I would guess, unless you know. And you are right. 98-yard punt. Holy cow. I bet that rolled a little bit. All right. On September 21. Oh, that's when it happened. I'm reading the story behind it. He did it against the Broncos. All right. You know what? Dear, it's page 2. Do I get page 2? I did 10. You got 8 out of 10. Don't tell me that I was going to give you 20 and it didn't give me 20. What happened here? Oh, I got to watch a commercial first. I could come up with 10 Jets questions on my own, I think, maybe.
It'd be harder, I think, if you did it.
Come on. What the heck? Do I not get... Jets... Do I get another Jets 10? Oh, here we go. Okay, good. All right, number 11. How many winning seasons did the New York Jets have? How many winning seasons did the Jets have during the 70s? 6, 4, 0, or 2?
A lot. I'm going to say 2.
2 winning seasons in the 70s for the Jets. Is he right? No.
0.
0. They had 0 winning seasons? Really?
It'd really be 0.
Wow. That's crazy.
At least in 70, after winning the Super Bowl, they would have a winning season.
Wow. All right. So you got 8 out of 11. All right. Which New York Jet wore pantyhose in a TV commercial? Curtis Martin, Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez, Joe Namath.
Namath.
That's exactly right. You got it. All right. So you got 9, right? 9 out of 12.
Oh, yeah.
Closing in on that win for Sunday. Who was the first New York Jet inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame? Joe Namath, Don Maynard, Weeb Eubank, or John Riggins? John Riggins didn't play for the Jets, did he?
Yeah. Originally, he did.
Oh, holy cow. I didn't know that. All right.
I'm going to say, man, it's probably Eubank, but I'm going to say Maynard.
Okay. You should go with your first guess.
Was it Eubank?
Yep.
No. Oh, really? Okay. No,
no, I didn't do it yet.
No. I think it's. I'm gonna guess it's Maynard, but I'm worried that it's Eubank.
All right. Maynard. He's gonna go with Maynard. No, it's Eubank.
Yeah, I knew that name for a reason. That's probably why.
All right. So you got 9 out of 13 so far, right?
Yep.
Okay. With the 24th pick in the first round of the 1983 NFL Draft, which QB did the Jets draft instead of Dan Marino?
Ken O'Brien from UC
That
Davis.
is right. Oh my gosh, is that something when you think about that? All right.
Believe me, man.
So you got 10 right so far, and you've got 5 left. 5 left? 6 left. So you need to have 5 out of 6 here for a Jets win. Is that correct? Do I get that right? Yeah, you got 4.
How many do I got right so far?
You got 10 right out of, yeah, because you got 4 wrong, right?
So I'm 10 for 14.
Yeah. Okay. Which team did the Jets shut out 41-0 in the first round of the 2002 playoffs? The Colts, the Steelers, the Broncos, the Dolphins. Sounds like you know. We going with Colts?
Colts. Peyton Manning.
Got it right. Man, you got 11. You're closing in on that win. What kicker kicked 3 field goals for the Jets in Super Bowl III? Steve O'Neill, Pat Leahy, Jim Turner, or Bobby Howfield?
Say the names again one more time.
Yep. Steve O'Neill, Pat Leahy, Jim Turner, or Bobby Howfield?
I'm going to say the first one, O'Neill.
Steve O'Neill. Man, you need this, right? I mean, you can still get one wrong, though.
Getting tight.
No, it's not Steve O'Neill.
Shit.
Jim Turner? It's Jim Turner.
Okay.
All right. So you've got 4. You got to get the last 4 right for a Jets victory Sunday. Which Jets QB was the first NFL player to pass for more than 4,000 yards in a season?
Joe Namath.
Brett Favre, Boomer Esiason, Joe Namath, Mark Sanchez.
Joe Namath, he's the only one to ever done it.
Really? Yep. You got it right. Oh my gosh, this is getting close. Number 18. What team do the Jets share a stadium with? The Redskins, Giants, Panthers, or Bills?
Oh, let me think of that one. That's a hard one. That was a freebie. The Giants.
All right. You got 2 right. You get the last 2 right. The Jets are going to win. Is that the last? Oh, I got to come up with my own Jets question, I think. There's only 18 questions. All right. So I'm gonna come up with a couple questions that I can remember with the Jets. All right. What team did Jonathan Vilma go to after he left the Jets?
The Saints?
Is it the Saints? Ding, ding, ding. You got it right. All right. I should have checked to see how many questions there were on this thing. The final question is, what former Tampa Bay Buccaneer played for the Jets? Quarterback. What former quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played for the Jets?
What do you think?
I'm pretty sure there's only one. There could be another one. If you think of another one and it happens to be, it'll be right. This is for, by the way, the Jets victory on Sunday. If you get it right, is Mr. Jeremy Googling it? No, I can see it right there.
I'm not Googling it. I really am thinking. Geez.
I thought you'd know this.
I'm trying to think of their quarterbacks. Like, obviously, it wasn't Ken O'Brien. Trying to think of who they had. They had O'Donnell at one point. Oh. No, Testaverde was on Cleveland's, right? I don't think he played for the Bucks ever, the Buccaneers ever. Testaverde came from Cleveland's. He may have made a stop in Tampa. Did he make a stop in Tampa Bay? Or did he come straight from Cleveland? And Richard Todd, I don't think we drafted him, so it could have been him.
The Jets fan base is hanging on this answer there, Mr. Jeremy.
Why do I remember like he went to Tampa, maybe? I'm going to say Testaverde.
You're going to say Testaverde?
I think he went from Cleveland to Tampa to the Jets.
And the Jets win on Sunday. They beat the Bills.
That's crazy.
Nicely done.
Oh, that was a hard one too. That scratched my brain because I always think of him from Cleveland. So
Awesome, Neil. That was fun. You got exactly 15 out of 20. Very
wow,
good. Very good.
wild.
All
Wild.
right.
I'm not usually good at trivia, but there was some easy giveaways there too. I gotta say.
What stadium they share? That was great. Loved it.
Who won Super Bowl III? Like, are you kidding me? What NFL fan doesn't know that? Do you have to be a Jet fan to know that?
I don't know.
It's like the most important game in the history of the NFL.
Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. Thanks for joining me. I ended up with, I think, a total of 3 people have popped in and out, which is a little surprising. They've been a little bit more, a little bit better attended, but I don't care. It was fun. I really appreciate you coming on, man.
I had a great time. Thanks. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. And whatever happens, no injuries on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
That's something we could both agree on. No injuries on Sunday. Let's hope it's a clean game and everybody gets off the field nice and healthy, win or lose.
Man, I hear you on that one. All right, enjoy the game. I'll be checking out. Where do I check out your stream or the stream you're doing Sunday?
If you want to see me at the watch party, it's Green Bean Jets fan.
Okay.
So Green Bean Jets fan. He's one of the big YouTube content providers for the Jets. He actually is my mentor. He got me into this and helped start me out.
Cool. And then anybody that watches the stream later, show Jets Chaos some love. Go over there, subscribe. I'm just a middle-aged guy in his basement doing this. I think you're a little younger, but so show my friend here some love and subscribe. All right, thanks very much, and I will be talking to you in the future, especially when the Jets and the Bills meet in the playoffs.
No, absolutely. Hey, I mean, if I do a post game, I'll send you the link, and if you can join, maybe you could jump on.
That's right. That'd be
Sunday night. I might do a post game.
Oh, wait, perfect. I'd love to do that. All right, man. Thank you very much.
All right, take care. Thanks.
All right, take care, man. All right, so that's it. Everybody, thanks a lot for watching. And remember, the Bills winning the Super Bowl in 100 days. See you tomorrow.
The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout, yeah, 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 yeah.
Say you will.
Shout it right now, baby.
Say you will.
Come on, come on.
Say you will.
Come on and shout.
Say you will.
Yeah.
Shout.
Buffalo's happening now.
Shout.
We're on the move now.
Shout.
The Bills are happening now.
Shout.
They're making it happen now.
Shout.
We got the spirit,
Shout.
a lot of spirit, yeah.
Shout.
We got the spirit.
Shout.
Just watch it happen now. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
The Bills make me wanna
Shout.
throw your head back and
Shout.
throw your hands up and
Shout.
kick your heels up and
Shout.
come on now. The Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Say you will.
Shout it right now, baby.
Say you will.
Yeah.
Shout.
Buffalo's happening now.
Shout.
We're on the move now.
Shout.
The Bills are happening now.
Shout.
They're making it happen now.
Shout.
We got the spirit,
Shout.
a lot of spirit, yeah.
Shout.
We got the spirit.
Shout.
Just watch it happen now. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo.
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 The Bills make me wanna
Shout.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.